So again, the Harinam has been stressed. Harinam is... Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments that the chanting of the holy name of the Lord has special significance that distinguishes it from Vedic ritualistic ceremonies of atonement. Holy name is just, it has its own world, and it's a distinguished thing. It distinguishes a special significance from the Vedic ritualistic ceremonies. The rituals don't arouse devotion unto the Lord. Naikantikam tadhi kritepi nishkrite manah punardhavati ched asatpathe. Yeah, so you become free. Yeah, you perform some atonement, you become free from some reactions of some sinful act. Fine, but manaha punardhavati, the mind again gets up and begins running on asat pathe. Path means path. Sanskrit word, English word same. Path. Path means path. So asat pathe. False, wrong road, wrong path he's traversing, following. The mind gets up and senses become active. The body runs behind, follows the mind, senses, and then business as usual. If atonement and rituals one undergoes. But the Harer Gunanuvadaha, the Gunanuvad, the discussions about qualities of the Lord, is something that is Sattva Bhavana, purifying one's existence altogether. Khalu, certainly, pointing out the difference. And now they say, Atha enam ma apanayat. So one more time. No, you can't take him. Hands off. Untie your ropes. Take your rope back, because ropes are still tied around the neck of Jamil. And he's being dragged antar hridayat. That word came up yesterday. From within the heart, core of the heart, this is where the soul is stationed. So from there they were dragging. So Vishnudutta said, okay, wind up your business. Get out of here. Hurry up. Take your ropes if you wish. Otherwise, we'll leave it here. But you should. Ma apanayat krata ashesha aghanishkritam. He has performed unlimited, or he has performed atonement to become free from unlimited sin. Yadaso bhagavan nama mriyamana sama grohit. He has perfectly chanted the name of the Lord, mriyamanaha, while leaving his body. At the time of death, he had chanted the name of the Lord. And then they give this rule. Sanketyam parihasyam va stobham helanameva va vaikuntha nama grahanam asheshagha haram viduhu. Say, anyone who chants Vaikuntha Nama Grahana, the name of Vaikuntapati, Lord, Narayan, Vishnu, Krishna, then Ashesh Aghaharam, the name is again described. Ashesh means unlimited. Ashesh, Anant. Ashesh Agha, that is sin. Haram, takes away. Unlimited sin committed by some sinful person is taken away, is neutralized by Vaikuntha Nama Grahana. And this chanting of the name may be done as Sanketyam, by some kind of giving some indication. May not be necessarily properly sitting in a bead bag chanting in front of the deity in association of devotees. No. Person may just say the name, giving some indication. Parihashyam, or jokingly one may sing, chant the name. Stobham, as a musical entertainment, one may chant. Helanam va, neglectfully one may chant. Under all circumstances, the holy name takes this sinful reactions of that. Haram, haram. Muslims say this when they want to condemn someone. Condemn you, haram, you haram. The Lord is kind. He only hears the Ram part, not her. Ram. Oh, he said Ram, I said my name. The Lord is happy. Ram. So it's giving some indication. Very indirect. Kavi Chandra Maharaj was, while distributing books in Tokyo, Japan, so many Muslims also come there, and devotees try to distribute books to the Muslims. But devotees know that Muslims will not take the books. But they keep following this Muslim visitor or guest or tourist till he says, haram. Then devotee will just, thank you, then stop harassing him and go away, find another regular customer. So this was kind of practice of our book distributors there. They found Muslim, then they will push him to the point till he says, haram, haram. Okay, thank you. Chant in the name of the Lord. Parihashyam, jokingly, musical entertainment. 30 years ago also, around the time I joined the movement, one famous movie producer, he produced a movie called Hare Krishna Hare Ram. This movie was Hare Krishna Hare Ram. It was about Westerners coming to India and chanting some Hare Ram, Hare Krishna Hare Ram. But at the same time, smoking and all that, marijuana. So there was a song, in that film there's a song, Dam Maro Dam, you smoke, and then in between, Hare Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna Hare Ram, Dam Maro Dam, Hare Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna Hare Ram, Dam Maro Dam. Showing that how. So it's very famous all over India. It's famous, this film song, a very hit song. So we used to go out preaching. Our movement was very new. And so whenever they would see us, normally in early days mostly Western devotees, or when we go out, we would go in pairs. One Western devotee is going Indian devotee. So when people would see Hare Krishnas going by their home, they would run back into their home and put on this song loud, so that we could hear, just to tease us. Hare Krishna Hare Ram Dam Maro Dam. Oh, these are the people. Oh, these are the people. In those days we were misunderstood. This film did create confusion because this film was making a point that these Westerners come to our country or they find some guru, some Swami, and they may be chanting something spiritual, but they are into intoxication mostly and drugs, and so they mix these drugs with this Hare Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna Hare Ram. So when they were seeing us, a lot of people used to sing, yeah, these are what we saw in the film. These are the people. They are doing this Hare Krishna Hare Ram, but they also are smoking and this and that. So to tease us, they used to play this. So then this was discussed with Prabhupada also. We brought this up with Prabhupada, and Prabhupada were even thinking whether we should sue this film director, Devanand was his name, and he has done such a damage to our movement. But Prabhupada was not interested in the court battle. But he gave credit. They're chanting Hare Krishna Hare Ram. But they're chanting. That was Prabhupada's stand. But in that song there is a Hare Krishna Hare Ram. Parihashyam, Stovam, Helanam. And the next statement is, if one chants the holy name of Hari and then dies because of an accidental misfortune, such as falling from top of a house, slipping and suffering broken bones while traveling on the road, being bitten by a serpent, being afflicted with pain and high fever, or being injured by a weapon, one is immediately absolved from having to enter hellish life, even though he is sinful. If one has chanted the holy name and then he dies by these different causes. And Prabhupada is quoting that verse from Bhagavad Gita, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajanti ante kalevaram tam tam evaiti kaunteya sadatad bhava bhavita. What you remember at the time of death, if you have chanted the holy name, that's your good fortune. Recently, our devotees were in Haridwar, and they found there was a free distribution of Coca-Cola. All the pilgrims were running to one particular spot to get their Coca-Cola bottle, free Coca-Cola bottle. So devotees were anxious to find out what is happening, why free Coca-Cola. This is the place where they should be distributing Charnamrit or Ganga Jal. Instead, Coca-Cola is being distributed. So when they inquired from the person who was distributing, family that was distributing, they said, our father died very recently, and he was a devotee of Bhola. Lord Shiva is also called Bhola. Bhola means he's innocent, Bhola. And he was sick, and then he was on deathbed, and fever and all that. So our father started demanding, get me Coca-Cola. And the children, the family members around, are now thinking, now he has only a few more minutes to go. He's not going to be surviving. So they were saying, Daddy, Daddy, say Bhola. Please chant Bhola, Bhola. Chant, remember Shiva. Shiva's name is Shiva Bhakta. But he's saying, no, get me Coca-Cola. No, Daddy, please. You have one more minute to go. Say Bhola, say Bhola. Say once, please. And there were 15 more seconds. The last thing he said, Coca-Cola collapsed. So the family thought this was the last wish of our father. So you'll be peaceful or satisfied. In his name we distribute Coca-Cola to all the pilgrims in Haridwar. So they distribute thousands of bottles of Coca-Cola. So what an unfortunate, he ended up saying, oh wow. So maybe he went to Coca-Cola Loka, which is America. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajanti ante kalevaram. Ante kalevaram. When body's end comes nearer and it is to be given up, what you think at that moment is a very important factor. Taistanyagani puyante tapodana vratadibhihi nadharmajam tad drudayam tadapishangri sevaya. So again, one thing is the Isha Angri Sevaya. Isha, that is Lord. Angri is lotus feet. Angri. Pankaj Angri. Pankaj, lotus feet. Pankaj Angri. Isha Angri Sevaya. By serving the lotus feet of the Lord, that is one thing. The other thing is then again Tapo, Dana, Vrata. So the austerities and charities and vows, these rules, Vedic, they purify, but not thoroughly as it is accomplished by Isha Angri Sevaya, by worshipping the lotus feet of the Lord. Although, translation, one may neutralize reactions of sinful life through austerity, charity, vows, and other such methods, these pious activities cannot uproot material desires in one's heart. However, if one serves the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead, he is immediately freed from all such contaminations. I mean, it is amazing what Prabhupada accomplished. He had to work on the Western or American followers, young boys and girls, and by his association, and as he was getting them to chant, hear, take Krishna Prasad, only in few months' time, they had their hands up, meaning, oh, how you would like to follow now 4 regulative principles? Prabhupada had not asked that question, although he was preaching, mentioning 4 regulative principles, but he was not expecting, but not insisted that they follow that initially. But after some time, he raised this question. Are you ready to follow 4 regulative principles? And so many, to Prabhupada's surprise and pleasure, they were ready to follow 4 regulative principles. It was only some time ago that another Swami had advised Prabhupada, Swamiji, in this country, I advise you, don't ask for 2 things. One thing is, you cannot look like the way you look like now. Your shaved head and tilak and saffron robes, and no, this will not work out. You have to look like me. So Swamiji, the other Swamiji, he had come with the saffron robes, but now he had become civilized in wearing pant and coat, or he had a hat. So you have to look like me. And other thing I strongly recommend, here don't talk about this vegetarianism. It won't work. So Prabhupada must have thanked for this free advice. The Swami has given free advice. But Prabhupada was not ready. We read in the Lilamrit, if people were not going to accept the principle which he stood for, which he practiced, he would rather go back to India, but not compromise. So with great conviction and compassion, he presented his Krishna consciousness in early days, and within very short time, these American boys and girls were ready to follow 4 regulative principles. So history, even Narad Muni was surprised to get such reports. He was visiting New York, and he was just smiling, happy. Prabhupada said he was surprised to see that you are taken to this Vedic culture and following all these principles. So how was this possible, that Prabhupada was able to get these Westerners to follow these 4 regulative principles? Chanting. Isha Angri Sevaya. Because he was engaging them in service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, getting them to chant, to Krishna Prasad, hear about Krishna. Sometimes he had started them taking out to the public places, Tompkins Square Park, and public dancing, chanting. This is how it became possible. Otherwise they were coming with wine bottles in their hands and big boots and girlfriends and all. Who knows when was the last time they had taken bath, all smelly, dirty. But Prabhupada was tolerant and compassionate and convinced that this holy name will work. And it worked. What else? What other magic? Of course, he stuck to the principles, and he had faith in Parampara and Guru Maharaja's mercy. But because he applied the right formula. So if these things are not stress, chanting and hearing and Krishna Prasad, which cleanses the heart, and nullifies all the reactions, otherwise very difficult to get anyone to follow these principles. Yatha gadam viryatama upayuktam yadruchaya ajanatopyatma gunam kuryad mantro pyudarutaha Yatha agadam, medicine. You take medicine, but you don't know what the contents always are of the medicine. You just take medicine and it does its job, right? You don't know how it functions, what is happening inside. Or you touch a fire, no, fire burns the grass. Doesn't matter who touches, knowingly, unknowingly you touch the fire, it will burn. You take a medicine, it will act. A person unaware of the effective potency of a certain medicine takes medicine or is forced to take it, like children have to be forced, right? Children have to be forced to take medicine. So whether you take it knowingly or unknowingly, medicine will act. It will act even without his knowledge because its potency does not depend on patient's understanding. Similarly, even though one does not know value of chanting the holy name of the Lord, if one chants knowingly or unknowingly, chanting will be very effective. In Western countries where Hare Krishna movement is spreading, learned scholars and other thoughtful men are realizing its effectiveness. For example, Dr. J. Stilson Judah, his learned scholar, has been very much attracted to this movement because he has actually seen that it is turning hippies addicted to drugs into pure Vaishnavas who voluntarily become servants of Krishna and humanity. I'm sure such scholars and others are everywhere appreciating the effectiveness of chanting. Sri Shuka Uvacha, and Vishnu Duta's speech ends there, and Sukadeva Goswami is now making comments. So evam su vinirniya dharmam bhagavatam nripa tam yamya pashad nirmucha vipram mrityor amu muchan. So su vinirniya. So they gave nirnaya or judgment perfectly ascertained and supported by Bhagavatam Dharmam, Bhagavad Dharma. All the Vishnudutas were talking was all supported by the Bhagavad Dharma, and so the result was Tam, that is Ajamil, Yamya Pashad, Yamaraja's servants' ropes, Nirmucha, they were freed. They untied the knots, took the ropes back, and Vipram, now Tam Vipram, now here Ajamil is being described, not as Dasipati Ajamilaha, but Tam Vipram. Oh, that Brahmin, he regained his honorable post position, the name. So in the beginning, same Sukadeva Goswami, when Sukadeva Goswami started the narration, he was the one who said, that Dasi Pati Ajamilaha Namna Kanyakubje. He stayed in Kanyakubja, his Dasi Pati Ajamilaha. And now, at this point, he's, oh, Tam Vipram, oh, that learned Brahmin, that Brahmin. He was relieved from the death. He was saved, rescued. Amu Muchan iti pratyudita yamya duta yatva yamantikam yamaragye yatha sarvam achakshur arindama. O King Parikshit, Sukadeva Goswami is addressing, O subduer of the enemies, O King Parikshit, iti pratyuditaha yamya. So having received this befitting reply from Vishnu Dutas, the Yamadutas, Yatva, Yamantikam, they went closer to Yamaraj, and they went to Yamaraj. Yamaragye yatha sarvam achakshur, and there they gave the full report of what transpired that day. They narrated the whole thing. In this verse, word Pratyuditaha is very significant. The servants of Yamaraj are so powerful that they can never be hindered anywhere. But this time they were baffled and disappointed in their attempt to take away a man they considered sinful. Therefore they immediately returned to Yamaraj and described to him everything that had happened. Dvijaha pashat vinirmukto gatavi prakritim gataha vavandi shirasha vishno kinkaran darshanotsavaha. So Dvijaha, earlier verse said, Vipram, now he is addressed as Dvijaha. Pashad, Dvija also like a second birth, right? Dvija means second birth, so he's like a born again. It's like a new birth for him. So he's addressed as Dvija. So he has become free from the bonds of the Yamaduta's ropes. Gatabhi, he is free from, he has no fear anymore of any kind. Prakritim gataha, came to his senses, have become normal. Vavande shirasha vishnoho kinkaran, and he is offering, bowing down. Vavande shirasha, bowing down with his head. Shirasha means by head. Sri Ramachandra charano shirasha namami. I offer my obeisances bowing down before the Lord with my head. Sri Ramachandra charano manasa smarami. Manasa smarami, shirasha namami, vachasa granami. By head I bow down, with the tongue, mouth I glorify, and with what? Mind I remember. Ramachandra charano sharanam prapadde. I surrender unto Sri Ramachandra, or Chaitanya Chandra, you could say, Krishna Chandra. So here it says, Shirasha by head, Vavande Vishnoho Kinkaran. Kinkar, Vishnoho Kinkar, servant of Vishnu, not Vishnu Kinkar, you have to say Vishnoho Kinkar, servant of Vishnu. And at the same time, Darshanotsavaha, Darshana Utsav, seeing them in front of, seeing those four Vishnu Dutas was like a Utsav, was like a festival. Darshanotsavaha. And we are getting there. End of our, this is today's second session. Few more verses. Tam vivakshum abhipretya mahapurusha kinkaraha sahasa pasyatastasya tatrantara dhire anagha. So as he was watching, this Jamil was seeing them, he was pleased to see them, their beautiful effulgent forms and personality. Then he had some desire to speak, address, say something, maybe thank you or something. So he was about to say something, but even before he could begin talking, speaking, sahasa, suddenly, antar dhire, they disappeared. Mahapurusha Kinkara is servants of Vishnu, they disappeared from his presence. And now, Ajamilopyatha karnya dutanam yama krishnayo dharmam bhagavatam shuddham traivedyam cha gunashrayam bhaktiman bhagavatyashu mahatmya shravanadhare anutapo mahanasid smarato ashubhatmanaha. After hearing the discourses between Yamadutas and Vishnudutas, Ajamil could understand the religious principles that act under the three modes of material nature. These principles are mentioned in the three Vedas. He could also understand the transcendental religious principles which are above the modes of material nature and which concern the relationship between living entity and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Furthermore, Ajamil learned glorification of the name, fame, qualities and pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He thus became a perfectly pure devotee. He could then remember his past sinful activities, which he greatly regretted having performed. So then, the next session this afternoon, we will hear those regretting words and statements of Ajamil throughout the Shastras. It is recommended that if one commits sin, he should feel bad about it, regret. So this is what we get to see, the process being applied, followed here. So, and then he also takes some new resolutions. There's a lamentation, regret, and he now takes vows. Okay, done is done. It's done. It's past now. I can't change the past. But into the future, I will no more commit any more sin. I'm going to be strict. And hell with this hellish family and this prostitute. He was disgusted, and he takes off. He goes to Haridwar and he follows the process of devotional service very, very strictly on the bank of Ganga, and then what the outcome is, you will find out this afternoon. So you can make a movie out of this whole quite exciting things, informative, enlightening. Is boring? In the intense care units of the hospitals, the doctors and nurses, they always make observations how scary the patients become. Intense care unit, that's the one that you go in and not rarely come out. From there you go, move on. So there, Yamadutas must be coming. That's why so much screaming, and it's very scary sounds patients make, and because they pass urine and stools, seeing. So that's another proof to support. Ati darunan. Okay.